back to Code with Gabriel, and this is form part 3. In this module, I will just quickly go ahead and show you how you can validate all these forms that we have set up. So the same way you actually do last name dot value, in order to reduce the stress, you can always do dot value. Sorry, it's dot value. If I can type, you don't want to do yeah, you can always do it. I thought that was the form, so this is it. So we can always do dot value, and you can always do dot value, which means that we are pulling out the value of each of these guys. So it shouldn't really be a pain on our neck. Let me just validate the value as the first name alone. So instead of doing first name dot value, so let's try this out. Oh my god, it said it's empty, so I feel like it's a pain in our neck now, because that is not really advisable for us. Alright, since it's not advisable, let's just eradicate them. I think so. I think it should work. Don't mind me. Everything I'm doing right here, I've really done it for a very long time, and it's really been a pain in my neck right now. Okay, so let's just quickly validate there. Whenever we click on this thing, we need to validate the form. So for the first name and the last name, the only thing we want to put in inside the form is just ordinary text, ordinary alphabetical characters, no any numeric characters. We don't want someone to come in, for example, have John 12 as a first name. It doesn't really sound, or John 323. It doesn't really sounds very cool to us, and it can be some kind of a mistakes or vulnerability or looking unprofessional in our website. So let's just go ahead and handle that real quick. And we need to create pattern to handle that kind of thing. So I'm going to create a variable that's going to say first name P, so for pattern, and I'm going to use regular expression. So if you don't understand regular expression, don't worry, I'm just going to show you how to do this. And in some other videos, I'm going to create a tutorial on how to really understand in depth about regular expression. And I'm going to test this against first name, if I can type dot value. And JavaScript, the editor is commenting this out because it thinks we really want to comment that out, but we don't really want to do. All right, so this is how it goes now. So we are back to the normal code. It's no longer a comment line now. So what I did is I create a variable that first name, which is the pattern, and right here I'm going to set what I don't really want to happen in the first name. So I can see I put first name the value to indicate that please check or test these value for me, and if it contains any pattern that I want to declare here, then throw error to us that we don't want it. Otherwise, say it is good, and let's keep going. Let's move to the next guy. So what do we don't want? We are going to specify it here right now. So from 0 to 9 we don't want it to happen, and this is one really a short code. And if instead of me to just be doing for a sec 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, so like that, it doesn't really make sense. So JavaScript has actually helped us to create a regular expression that can handle this in a very short form from 0 to 9. So what we are doing in sec is that from 0 to 9, if it actually occurs in the pattern of this first name that it is I specify here, please tell the user that there is an error going on. Otherwise, let's continue and move to the next validation field. So let's just do some if statement. So if the first name pattern is true, so then we know there is an error in the code. So there's an error from the user. So the first thing is that we want to stop the form from submitting, and the only way to stop the form from submitting is to use event the prevent default. So the default that we are preventing is that because whenever we click on this button, the default is to link up to the keep record.html. So we prevent it right now. So let's just go ahead. We know whenever we are unable to link to that, we know there is something wrong from the user input. So let's go ahead. So I'm just going to put John for a sec, and John should be able to link to the page successfully. And if we have to like 12, we can see that John is not able to link to the page successfully because we are having an error right there. So in order to specify this, to really make this really look professional, we can go ahead and embed sorry for that, we can go ahead and embed a div right here. We're going to create a class of message. So I'm just going to mismatch, and we're going to set the paragraph that have id equals to mess. So it's really empty right now. So what we can do is that we should specify the document. We can say our mesh equals to documents or get element. Oh my god, that's bad. Element. I intentionally use Visual Studio Code to make this chapter very faster, because I don't want to be spending a lot of time on each of the videos. So we just idea of mesh, then okay, that's nice. So I think we get it right now. If it's not really quick, so we can just do the mesh dot mesh, sorry, I think it's one inner HTML. So we can pull invalid character user invalid first name. So we can just put it like that. So let's check this real quick. So if I go ahead and select something that involves numerical character, I can just type number here. We should have the message said invalid first name. So invalid first name is real until we have something like John that is not really invalid. So you can see we are able to go to the next to the status page. So what we can do is that else we can also prevent the form from submitting. We can also prevent the form from submitting. Then we can just put the mesh dot inner HTML and say okay, our first name is valid, and I just use that to just stop. It's just some kind of scopy nature. So let's see. So we say first name is valid. So first to me is valid. That's me because I'm going too fast. I know I'm really pretty going too fast. I'll submit this. So first name is valid. All right. So this is not really bad, but this is not the case we want, isn't it? So let's move to the next validation. So we can say else if, and then this is where we are going to be specifying the next condition. So we can say let last name. So right here I'm going to use p, which for last name pattern is equals to, so the same thing we want to do on the last name obviously. So we want to make sure that from 0 to 9 doesn't really appear there, and we want to really test through it. So we can just pull last name the value. So if this is also true, so if the last name pattern is also true, we want to make sure that we actually try our best to prevent the form from submitting, and we want to pull the message of inner HTML to be invalid invalid last name. Okay, so if we check this up in the browser, it's still going to work. Okay, so this is really valid now, and this is not really valid now. So we can see invalid last name. Even though this is valid, it's not going to throw error, but once this is not valid, it's not going to be like. So if I go ahead and click this, so we are referred to the successful page, which is nice now. So another thing we can do, we can still create an else if, which I'm going to leave it empty for now. Then I'm going to create another expression. So you might be wondering that what if the user come in and write and input something like this and the first name last name. Don't worry, I'm still going to show you how to handle that. In fact, as a matter of fact, we can begin to specify the kind of character that we don't want to we don't want it to really occur, and the characters can involve the can begin to involve all these kind of characters like there. This is not really nice right now because these patterns really have kind of formats to lay down before they can actually works. Like this as a mini, the caret sign as a mini. We only need one of these. So you can specify as much as character. This should work the same thing, same way. Fine. Let's just take this up. So what if I have all ID and that's my second name? We as this. Okay, my bad. What do I do? I think I messed up with the scope already. So sorry. Control Z, and let's pack it into this sequence now. So it's actually part of the sequence now. Alright, let's test for it again. I'm not going to use that to waste time. Let's say it's successful. There is a way to handle that, so let's just continue for a sec. I'm going to handle that for some reason. I'm going to handle that later. Alright, so we've been able, oh my god, this is because we have error in the code. Let me just put this back. and this is very why it's submitting. It's not able to validate the form, so because I left that empty. So I think it's a bug from me. But see, can you see now? It's saying invalid first name, and you can specify any color character that you don't really want to the appearance. And if you put the number again, it's still going to work because it's saying invalid first name. No matter how much you do, it's saying invalid first name as long as you are putting the wrong character. Alright, so let's assume that these are the wrong character that we don't want. Let's just embed it right here. So don't really mind the regular expression looking junky now. That's how it usually looks. I'm used to it. So by time goes on, you are going to used to it too. So let's do some let statement. Right now we want to handle the humor, and this is where things really get in handy for us to really manipulate their email. So the email actually works really different, and let's just do it first. So email pattern right now, so we can just specify it, and then let's test it out with email dot value. All right, very quick. And right here, so it can contain the strings that we actually want it to appear in their form, and this is where things really get really twisted. So which one do we want inside the human that we really want? So this is it now. We actually want the uh let's say occurrence of dots, ads, and com. So for there are some email that actually takes more than that, but for basic expression, and we can't say, this is just only to be true if the email contains any of this guy, unlike on this one. So this is where things really get changed. It says if is not their email pattern. So this is really might be sounding logical now, but what I'm doing right here is simple. So if you please you try to check out this for me and it is not there, rather than if you check this out for me and it is there. So it's just a simple statement. All right, so we can just say if those we prefer right up there is not there, so please event or prevent default and message the inner streamer to tell me our email is invalid. Let's take that up for a sec. So let's have this John, let's have this really my Gmail, and everything is fine, so we're able to submit. So let's say we don't have any of these. It's still going to work. The reason why it's still going to work is because it contains the @ sign, and that is because inside this regular expression it really contains the @ sign. So I think to really make it really straight, to how do I want to put it, to really make it really straight, we need some kind of a special format for this, but we can just be picking it up one by one to see if it's truly working or it's not really truly working. So we need to group it. I know we need to group it together, so let's just check for a sec. So this is fine, and this is really let me see the pattern we were looking. So the dots now, so this is really fine because it has the dots, and let's do this now. Oh my god, what's that? Email at email.com. So obviously things really gets really changed right now. So we say email pattern, and is the dots that we are looking for. So if it contains the dots, email dots value contain let me even check, do we get the email correctly? Yeah, it's correct. Okay, so the dot is what we are looking for now. So let's just go ahead and check if it is there. If the dot is there, so I would like to handle this really separately. So let me go ahead and handle this separately before I embed it inside the line. So if it's about the email dot pattern, so let's see what's up. Alerts are okay. Pattern works else alert I'm just debugging this. My pattern is invalid. But I'm just debugging this, so it's a good thing to really show you how to debug your code too. Everything I do most of the time is self-taught, so I think I'm missing something somewhere. So this shouldn't be exposed right here. All right, if I could see. All right, I think I fixed that now. So let's test for the email now. Pattern works because the dot is there. So let's say the dot is not there right now. Part is this a pattern works? That's weird. Why would the pattern work when the dot is not there? Maybe I need to refresh this and really put this up. Where are you? So the dot is not there. That's what we want. Since a pattern works, then obviously we want it to say pattern is not working. So let me just try to group it. Put the what's it called? Before I group it, let me try to put this sign. So and I'm looking for dots. Let's see. Oh my god, that's not what I want to do. Alright, let's check it out again and click pattern is invalid. Obviously pattern is invalid. Alright, thank you. Okay, and let me try to do some grouping. So like dots, this is regular expression, so it's a pattern is invalid. So let's group it with the rest of this guy. So com and art. Oh my god, this is really going to. So pattern is invalid. Is it invalid? So arts com. So let's see how I group this guy. Maybe I group it wrongly. Dots, then arts, dots, and com. Email is usually hard to verify when it comes to regular expression. So let's see. It's this say pattern is invalid. Okay, let's do it like this. If it's really end with .com. So if it's end with .com like that, so we can just pull it up like this. If it's end with .com, let's see, that's another pattern. This is not, it's a pattern is invalid. I need to put it inside there. I really need to put this inside there. Okay, no, that's not what I want to do, man. Sorry, this is taking time. I don't want to take time right from start. CC pattern is invalid. Wow. Well, okay, I'm having this. Let's see, let's give it a try once again. I'm just going to go ahead and move on to the next one. Okay, pattern works now. So, and that is because it does end with dots end, and I can say if it actually contains the art sign, so the heart sign like that. So let's try it out. I think it's going to work now. Pattern works, yeah, it's going to work. So I fixed that already, so we can embed it right now in the rest of our code. I will explain for a seconds what that one does now, so trust me, I'm going to explain. So this is not going to be if, it's going to be else. If else, sorry, it's going to be else if. So everything we've actually been doing has changed right from say. So let me just start. So what I did is that the asterisk symbolizes the if these are a guy. The asterisk actually you should do with the occurrence of all these guys. So what I did is that if this end with .com, then make sure that it's true. It's contain the ads end with .com, make sure that it is true. So that's what I actually did, and we are able to validate that the pattern really works. Let's really do something else with this guy instead of shouting pattern works up and down. So we really do something else. Let's do this. I'm just going to copy this because I don't want to be wasting time again. All right. So we can just say email is valid. That's if the pattern works now. All right, let's try this out. So email is valid. What if the pattern doesn't really work? What's this? Okay, so oh my god, what's this? I'm sorry for a sec. He said email is valid, and if it contains these guys, say oh sorry, email is valid. I don't really want it to be valid. Let me just remove this asterisk. I don't want it to be valid, obviously. All I just want is it still say email is okay. Email is valid for real. I okay, it works now. Yeah, that's why it's stopping. Email is valid. I think it's work. If it's not valid, it's supposed to. If it is valid, yeah. Okay, I already prevented it. Sorry, I wanted to link to the success page. I already prevented it. Sorry. So, okay, this works fine. Let's pull up the gender too. This is gender. Data really don't need to have any pattern because it does not involve the user to input. It's just for you to toggle up within the value. So we leave the gender for real. But one thing we can do is that we can check if it is checked or if it is not empty, if it's not undefined. So what we can just do is else if the gender dot value is not equals to empty string. So if it is equal to empty string, if it is not equals to empty string, what's up with me? So we just want to pull a message as and say um and said please select gender or something. Please select gender. All right, so in the next tutorial I'm going to handle up the password and the confirm password so that we can see. All right, see you in the next tutorial, guy.